I hate being around my sister-in-law because she always finds a way to cook up a mean comment about everyone else's lives, but the cherry on top was when we drew her name for Secret Santa and she sent us ideas that were 2 to 4 times the budget. My boyfriend, 30M, and I, 31F, have been together for 3 years. We have gotten to know each other's families quite well as we live nearby and can visit often. I love my boyfriend's family, except his brothers, 33M, long-term girlfriend, 33F. I called her my Sil for simplicity in the title. Let's call my boyfriend James, his brother will be Mike, and his brother's girlfriend Kelly. Kelly and Mike have been dating for 5.5 years. I truly believe she is well-intentioned, but oh my god, she's freaking terrible to be around. I get along with almost everyone I meet, but being around her actively makes feel like I'm losing brain cells. We are polar opposites, but that's not why she's terrible. She makes wildly inappropriate comments to everyone around her, has no sense of self-awareness, and thinks the world owes her something. Kelly and Mike are not in a good financial position. Kelly is unable to work because of her traumatic childhood and Mike works 50+ hours/week in construction. He busts his butt to provide for them, and she spends her days at the local bar with the local riffraff, then complains about not being able to afford to buy a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home on several acres of land in our call state. For Christmas, my boyfriend's parents are hosting celebrations and we are doing a small gift exchange with a max budget of $10/person, and then everyone drew a name from a hat and we get that person one gift of up to $50. Total spend is $100 each. So, everyone gets one big gift and a couple of small things. At first, we had no budget, but Mike was concerned about being able to participate, so we set a budget and James slipped Mike $200 so he wouldn't have to worry about it. It's not Secret Santa, so everyone knows who drew which name. James drew Kelly's name, and immediately she started sending him links to things that were $100+ for him to get her. He reminded her of the budget that we set, to benefit them, and she said, "You can afford it, these are the only things I want." And made it worse by saying, "Mike drew your name, and we're getting you something nicer than $50. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt that she may not know James gave Mike the $200 to help them out. She hounded James about it being unfair that they suffer while we have so much, so clearly he can afford to get her a nicer gift. Both James and I are very comfortable, but we've both worked hard for everything we have. She insulted him, called him greedy, told him that he's selfish and only cares about himself and the fancy life he lives with me, and that Mike and her resent him for abandoning them. James is the kind of person who would give his last dollar away, the shoes off his feet in a snowstorm, and who acts tough but is actually just a big softie. A lot of people take advantage of that. And he caved. He got her a fancy over-budget gift. James and Mike's parents just kind of roll their eyes at her when she makes weird inappropriate comments, and their mom has confided in me that she's happy at least James picked a normal one and that she's glad she doesn't have to take care of both of her sons into adulthood. They are completely unaware of what's happened behind the scenes between Kelly and James. I'm not afraid of confrontation, but don't want to ruin Christmas by losing my mind at her. She's bound to say something or do something because she always does, and I really don't know if I can bite my tongue much longer. I am furious at her. I feel like I'm going to explode if she makes one offhanded comment or snide remark, that I'm betting it'll only take 20 minutes for her to say something stupid. It's not about the gift. We don't care about the money. To me, this is icing on the cake of her already poor behavior. To James, it's just another thing he wants to let slide because he loves his brother and it makes Mike's life easier if Kelly is happy and not complaining. How can I navigate this and stop her from taking advantage of James in the future? Talking to her rationally is futile. James did try that, and that's how we're here. Edit. Thank you all for the comments. I'm going to push pause on this account until after the holidays and will post an update if anything interesting happens. I've decided to go into this armed with a couple of the quick and simple responses that people have suggested in here. My favorites are "Wow, what an inappropriate comment," or "I can't believe you said that out loud." James and I will chat too after the holidays. I agree he needs to set better boundaries, but we can have that conversation privately after the chaos of Christmas. Happy holidays all. Update. Thank you to everyone who commented. Christmas was actually lovely. Kelly behaved for the most part, though of course made a few left-field comments. Using Mill and Phil for simplicity, but my boyfriend and I are not married. Here are some examples. Mill opened a gift, it was a turkey baster. Kelly exclaims, "Whoa, Phil. Trying to get her pregnant again?" Mill and Phil are in their 70s. Awkward pause. Turns to me and James and goes, "Actually, I'm surprised it's not you." And on recommendations from Reddit I laughingly responded, "What an uncomfortable thing to say." Kelly went on about how she expected after we took a 2-week vacation, we would be sharing a pregnancy announcement. I responded, "Well, that's kind of weird." I got James a gag gift that says some innuendo on the butt of a pair of pants. Kelly kept making comments about, "No one needs to know the details of your bedroom life." Despite that the pants were a joke. This was repeated all night, but I just ignored it. Otherwise, we had a great time and a great family gathering. I wish I had something more exciting, but the answer I got helped me have a few responses in my arsenal to respond to her weird comments, and otherwise I ignored her. Thanks, Reddit.